Afternoon, folks. Brian here, Geomagnetic Earthwatch on Friday, January 13, 2023 on our planet. I just want to do a brief earthquake report, one on each side of our continent. Starting off offshore of Newfoundland, Nova Scotia. Now, this earthquake appeared on the feed today. However, it happened 2 days ago. It is a shallow 4.2 earthquake, again off the coast of Newfoundland. And this is the one of 4 or 5 areas on our planet where tsunami buoys go into motion by themselves. So something I've been watching for the past few weeks, and although very small magnitudes, the numbers in earthquakes in this region have been increasing from Quebec, St. Lawrence, Seaway, New Brunswick, and Maine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, etc. So again, they are very small magnitude, however, increasing in their numbers. Point of observation at this time. Moving on to the Cascadia Subduction Zone. Now, the Cascadia Subduction Zone is actually made of the Wanda Fuca plate, which is a section of the Pacific plate that is broken off, which starts in northern California and runs all the way up to the northern tip of Vancouver Island. It actually comprises of 3 plates: the Gorda plate, the Wanda Fuca plate, and the Explorer plate. Cascadia Subduction Zone from southern California all the way up to northern Vancouver Island. Subduction means plate sliding underneath the continental plate. And when it does, we will have vibrations or tremors. Now, this is an accumulation of tremors for the past 13 days. Vancouver Island, southwest Oregon, and northern California. Now, if you notice, all of these groupings line up to a fracture zone offshore. The Mendocino fracture zone, and the Blanca fracture zone. Now, I said in one of my reports a couple of days ago that there will be a small release of the energy off of the Vancouver Island tremors, and in fact, we have that. In fact, these are so predictable. 3.4. And they always happen in this region on the north end of the Explorer plate. And this is a release of the energy from this accumulation of tremors. Now, remember I said that this will be relieved, the energy, through earthquakes here. And in fact, we're starting to get that response. So when we see earthquakes along the coast of British Columbia, Oregon, and California, these are desirable. We want these earthquakes to occur here rather than here. So, tremors, vibrations of the Wanda Fuca plate sliding underneath northern California. This is a built-up energy. That energy is released from these earthquakes. Tremors below southwest Oregon, outside of Medford. Vibrations of the Wanda Fuca plate sliding underneath the continental plate. That energy is relieved here. Now, this initially came in as a magnitude 5, in which some other YouTuber over sensationalized this earthquake. He got all excited, as he always does. Folks, Again, we want to see these releases of the energy here, as they very commonly do. We don't want to see it here. All right. So there was no need for this dramatization of this earthquake, except he wants to maximize his viewer counts, because the more views he gets, the more money he gets from YouTube. And that's all it is. There is no need for any fear porn for any of these earthquakes. Now, about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, I did my own study, and I accounted for every single magnitude 4+ earthquake along the Cascadia Subduction Zone, covering a 10-year period, along with every single tremor event over that same 10-year period, looking for a pattern. And the only pattern that there is, and again it's a favorable one, is following a tremor event, this energy is released in the form of earthquake here. Tremor event, built up energy, earthquake. Tremors, earthquake. They are so predictable. You would start to worry if you have an accumulation of tremors without an earthquake here, meaning that energy is still here and is building up. It hasn't been released. Now, during a tremor event, which normally lasts several weeks, tremors are also called slow earthquakes, with the equivalent magnitude of a magnitude 7 earthquake. And again, tremor event lasts for several weeks, with accumulation of energy equal to magnitude 7 released offshore. So this episodic tremor event, North Cascadia, is just starting up. We already had 2 3.4 earthquakes. And again, forecastable, desirable. No fear porn is necessary. No over-sensationalization is necessary, except for someone else wants to increase his viewer count so he gets more monetization from YouTube. That's it. And of course, we have some other responses here. This is another one that they just threw in the feed. This wasn't here before. 2.6, 3 days ago at 10 kilometers depth. Some tomfoolery going on here. This one here is a mud volcano. And I'll look at the rest of these later. So there you go, folks. Shallow 4.3 that they put on the feed 2 days later. An increase in activity along the St. Lawrence Seaway on either side. And an explanation of the Cascadia Subduction Zone earthquakes. See you later.